Yay.
Woo, woo. And we are live. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Maria.
It is so nice to actually, although last week we did have a lady in here with us. I think her name is Alicia. I just know her as, oh gosh, Prune de Bloom. But she was in here with us, but we had our screen so filled up that I couldn't see anything. So, but hi, honey. I am so happy that you are here with us. And tonight we are going to be talking about Mars and Jupiter, the two planets. Last week we talked about Mercury and Venus and what that meant in our charts. And this week, first, we're going to look at Mars. So I'm going to pull this up. Here we go. Oops. Oh, and there he is.
There he is.
There he's barking. Sissy, if you want to start reading this, I'll be right back. I just have to let him in.
All right. Mars is the ruler of Aries and Scorpio. It symbolizes the capacity to assert ourselves and act upon our innermost desires. Mars is known as the right hand of the sun, like the enforcer or the facilitator of the goals set forth by the sun. In Greek mythology, he was known as the god of war, and in Roman mythology, known as Ares, also the god of war. He is the overcomer of obstacles. So Mars represents those areas of our life where we have our power, drive, and ambition to accomplish our desires. Mars shows us where we learn to be independent, self-sufficient, and become self-aware. Mars also represents our sexual and physical gratification and pleasures through the energy of trusting, penetrating, and spreading our seed.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, that's like male.
Exactly.
Those with a strong Mars in their chart can tend to be extremely passionate, physical, and possess strong sexual desires. When our Mars and Venus are balanced, we see more harmony, less fighting, and the ability to work through our differences.
Right.
Nice.
So in our body, it rules the muscular system, which you think of men as having more of the muscles and being stronger, right, than the women. It really does all blood, but namely red blood cells, which is what has oxygen. You know, oxygen is carried through like the hemoglobin or whatever. The adrenal glands, which is where we secrete like our hormones and stuff, right?
Yep.
And the male sexual organs, just like last week, Venus was the female sexual organs and reproductive organs. So, when skillfully expressed, can be enterprising, confident, and assertive. When unskillfully expressed, we can be selfish, aggressive, controlling, or even violent. Uh-oh, I don't know what that was. So, Sissy, you want to start this chart off really quick down at the bottom?
Yeah, what did I tell you?
Your Mars is in Sagittarius in the 5th house.
Okay, so my Mars is in the sign of Sagittarius, which represents how I pursue my desires and use my power, which is in a spiritual manner. And in the 6th house, through self-expression. So
I'm looking for the damn Sagittarian. I got so many worksheets I've done now.
I do too.
Okay. So let's first talk about that it's in Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, by the way, which is the next planet we're talking about, and corresponds with the ninth house. They are known to be wise, sage-like, understanding, aspiring, metaphysical, ethical, visionary, religious, truth-seeking, hopeful, open-minded, jovial, expansive, generous, benevolent, merciful, exploring, adventurous. I mean, it is a fire sign. Seeking, freedom-loving, frank, and truthful. They also can be pompous, flighty, ungrounded, opinionated, tactless, false prophet, extravagant, wanderlust, scattered, and irresponsible. Let's not forget, my sun is in Sagittarius. I rebuke that. Just kidding.
Yeah.
So now it's in your 5th house. And your 5th house is
being creative and
it is a house of Dharma, which is about like righteous action, the things that we do in our life that are moving you towards like your path kind of thing. It's all about the fun side of you, the 5th house is. The things that you do for play when the work is completed. This is the charming, creative, delightful side of you, where your interests, playmates, and hobbies can be found. I don't think we even have to go any further. It says that this is the house of joy. So, knowing you, sister,
where I find it.
This is where you find your desire.
Oh,
this is where you find your and how you assert yourself, because this is also based off of your desires, which stems from knowledge of religion and theology and mythology and seeking, like psychology, dogma. I mean, anything, right?
And sis, you're using the real sky, because in Western it's Capricorn, and the real sky is like right on the money.
Exactly.
Right on the money.
Yes. What is yours, Maria? What is your sign in? What is your Mars in? And mine happens to be in, where did I just pull this? Mine happens to be in Libra, in my 5th house. So in the same house of fun and the things that I like to do.
You're just in love and
exactly. But I like balance. The fact that it's in Libra. I like balance between. How many times have you and I talked over the years and said, really feel like we are both, not just female, but female and male. Because we are about as, I was like a major tomboy when I was growing up. I mean, although you would find me sometimes playing with Barbie dolls, it was more about like actually decorating the house and making furniture for the Barbie dolls or dressing them up, or like you and I, we would cut all their hair off. But in general, where would you find me? You would find me outside climbing trees, doing gymnastics, roughhousing. I would go fishing. I liked going hunting if I could, like with Charlie, or going out there helping him. Yeah. Those are the kind of things. So it was definitely both. I like doing both. I didn't like being
we were the only girls and we got bored with girl stuff.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Except for when we both wanted to be Wonder Woman. You remember that?
We all wanted to be Wonder Woman. Chrissy wanted to be Wonder Woman. We all had these. We had the lasso of truth. We had the headband. Like this.
Anyway. That was great.
Yes. So for you, so for you, or for me, I mean, I think that pretty much when skillfully expressed, I assert myself in a jovial, in a, that's for you, jovial, seeking, playful, open-minded, because Sagittarians are known for being extremely open-minded.
Right.
Because they are ruled by Jupiter, which we will get to next. Now, for you, then the second part of this goes down to when unskillfully you assert yourself
as a pompous ass.
Exactly. And for me, Libra, when unskillfully, they are known to be dependent, cannot act alone, indecisive, hesitant, passive, inactive, idle. Yeah. You know why? Because I can see it from both perspectives. So sometimes it makes it really difficult for me to make, I can go, oh, well.
Oh, goodness. Yes. That is a Libra trait right there. Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Cannot act alone, indecisive, hesitant, passive, inactive, idle, indifferent, vain, gives power away to others, can be superficial, overly delicate, and imbalanced. But when balanced, partner-oriented, social, fair, sharing, cooperative, considerate, balanced. I'd like to think that that's more me. That's my story. We know that it's all of it. I mean, seriously, they are all. I mean, I would like to say that I'm all the positive things, but I know damn well that's just not the truth. So
exactly. We all have it. That's for sure.
One last thing that I do want to address. Oh, well, I guess there's a little bit more. So my Mars element is air. So how I think about my desires and pursue my power or assert myself is usually in a very thoughtful manner.
Yeah.
In a very, and I know that that's true. And I like to communicate. I like to communicate too much sometimes until the other person's just like, would you shut up already? I get it. Almost to a point of like, Bailey, I'm trying to express something to her and she's just like, Mom, stop already. Nagging. And yours is fire, which is confidently and passionately. So
I get the same thing. The kids are like, they know they don't have a choice. They don't have to listen. So they listen.
Oh, hi, sweetie. Oh, my goodness. Courtney's here with us, too. We've got two right now. Can you believe it?
Good right here.
Yeah. So, says my Mars is in your case, 5th house of, which we already talked about, like what you do for fun, yada, yada, yada. So my ability to overcome obstacles and assert myself are best expressed in these areas of my life, which would be where you are creative, where you express yourself, and also in romance. In the 5th house is romance. Yes. You feel better when you can express yourself openly with the person that you're with, right? And that you guys can have this.
That's very true. Yeah. And Bob, he's on the same page. Thank goodness. Yes.
Me too. No, we're live. We're live right now. It was supposed to originally be 6 o'clock, but I changed it to 5 o'clock. So maybe that's why there's a issue. I don't know. Could be. I don't know. Because I changed it with StreamYard. Aww.
Yeah, he needed.
Which one is that one? Is that Hans?
Yeah, he needed a little bit of attention.
Aww. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Let me find it. So let's go on to Jupiter. So, Sissy, you want to read this for us?
Yepper. Okay. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. It symbolizes our search for meaning, truth, and also the basis of our ethical and moral values. In Greek mythology, Jupiter is named Zeus, the ruler of the other gods, who sits upon his throne in Mount Olympus.
Sissy, hang on just a second. Sissy, hang on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop you, but obviously we're on a delay. And Maria said that her Mars is in her 10th house of Taurus in real sky. So first, if we look at Taurus, Taurus is feminine. It's ruled by Venus. How appropriate is that? Ruled by Venus, and this is your Mars placement. So I see balance already within those two things. They are known to be earthy, practical, productive, prudent, conserving, sensual, physical, resourceful, steadfast, stable, reliable, dependable, loyal, trustworthy, preserving, patient, deliberate, persistent, enduring, artistic, loves nature and beauty. They can also be materialistic, possessive, stubborn, lazy, overcautious, passive, self-indulgent, and bullheaded. See, that all sounds like me too. But this is in your 10th house of like career and karma and your achievements and your public life, and also the father figure in your life or the man in your life. It doesn't always have to mean your father. It can also mean the main man that's in your life. So whoever that is. It is your public side. It is the house in your chart that describes your public career, reputation, social status. This is the side of you that takes time to learn and become accomplished. It shows your behavior. And yes. So see, I mean, for me, I think that looks like your major passion, and even to a point of almost being turned on by it, because Mars is very sexual as well, is your accomplishments and your career and knowing all the hard work that you have put into moving forward and your achievements. And when you see that in other people as well, it's a driving force. You see what I mean? And that's how you also, that is one of the things that you are good at also, is teaching in those areas of your career and stuff like that. Just like you did with the video, knowing that that's what you know, whether or not it was something from, let's say, the 60s or something that's now. You have good knowledge. So because that's the area that you work in. So I could see it like that. But also very balanced because it's in your second house. Yes, exactly. But you have feminine and masculine right there. So anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead with your, and, well, hang on.
Oh, right. Where he sits upon the throne in Mount Olympus. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, and its spin is so fast that planet bulges at its equator. Jupiter is known as the planet of abundance and expansion, and is also called the Great Benefic. He is known as the bringer of good fortune and prosperity. We can also see that sometimes too much of a good thing can be bad for us. So take note also where Jupiter falls in your chart for over excesses, such as too much food, drink, travel, education, or any number of things that can lead to an imbalance. Jupiter is said to bring awareness through our ability to have a broader view of our realities through seeking knowledge in philosophy, religion, ethics, higher education, and foreign travel. So while Jupiter is expansion, he is closely followed by Saturn, the planet of restriction.
Right. And there's also, which I did not put in this, the mythology about Jupiter being like, of course, Zeus. And Zeus was, Zeus's mother gave a rock to Saturn, his father, or Kronos, in place of the baby Saturn. So he thought that, or in place of the baby Jupiter, because he thought that he ate his son like he had ate all of his other children. But it was then Zeus that came back and freed all of his brothers and sisters, the other gods, from his father, Kronos, who was a Titan. So I find that interesting. But so Kronos or Saturn kind of keeps Jupiter in in check a little bit. Because, and I never knew this, I didn't know until I was doing this, that Jupiter, I didn't realize that it expands at the belly, like being bloated, because it rotates so fast. That's why it's like expansion. They call it expansion, because it's moving so fast in its own rotation, and it is the biggest of all the planets. So that's why they call it, it like has to keep itself in check kind of thing. It keeps expanding at its equator. It's not a perfect like circle. It's like, no shit. Wow. Yeah. So let's talk about if it's, and it is also the liver in the body. So if you drink too much, your liver gets expanded. If you eat too much or take too many,
about
whatever, it is the liver that filters everything, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So when skillfully expressed, it's jovial, open-minded, because you got to also remember, Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, which was just what we were talking about with your Sagittarius. But the seeker, the expansion, the joy and positivity and all that. But too much of a good thing can be too much of a good thing. So when unskillfully expressed, can be self-important, pompous, exaggerated, misjudging, excessive, like overindulging in things, like too much chocolate, perhaps. Maybe if you're overindulging that day on a whole bunch of popcorn or something like that, check and see where your Jupiter is. Carbs.
I overindulge in carbs.
Exactly. Exactly. Jupiter is in your 8th house. Oh, God, that makes so much sense, Courtney. Holy shit. So expansion in everything, like, because the 8th house is based off of Scorpio, which is
hidden.
Yeah, the occult. Yes. But too much of a good thing can be too much of a good thing. That's why you have to rein yourself back sometimes, because you can become lost in that. Yes, and of addiction, right? Yes. The shadow, the psychic world. That's why it's so strong in you. Gosh, it makes perfect sense. Oh, wow. So your Saturn keeps you in check, Maria, with your Jupiter and Saturn being like 1 degree apart from each other. That means they're in conjunction. So they're working together in order to keep you balanced. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, yes. Yes. That's spiritual knowledge. Oh, that makes so much sense to me, Courtney, with yours. All right. So Carla's Jupiter is in her 2nd house of Virgo, which makes complete sense, because the 2nd house has to do with gains and losses, things that we inherit from our ancestors or our family home or our upbringing, right? Okay. But this is in Virgo. And you and I have talked about this before. Mom is very Virgo because she's making her lists every damn morning. Everything she does is so methodical, right? And that is something, a characteristic that you would inherit in your 2nd house.
And I definitely have done
you
that.
are very, very routine. Your life is very, very routine. Yeah. So it makes perfect sense. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Mine is in also my 5th house, right next to Mars. So my Mars and Jupiter are in conjunction with each other, which is in fun and all that. So that would also explain my overexpanding belly line and overindulgence in like fun and creativity and overexpressing myself sometimes, and being in conjunction with Mars. That's also about your desires and asserting yourself and how you assert yourself. So now I can see why people would be intimidated by my energy.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes perfect sense.
That's why you like that movie, 50 Shades of Grey or whatever.
Why is that?
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why I'm still married to the same guy, right? After all these years.
Right.
Yeah. I've said to him, can I financially dominate you? He goes, sure. Or do you want to be financially dominated? He goes, sure. You know, sexually. Which is Mars, right?
Yep.
Hey, it's just for you members, right? Oh gosh. Jupiter and Saturn. What? Okay. Your Jupiter, is in your second house of Virgo as well. That's what Maria was saying.
Maria? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Well, whoever becomes a member later on down the road is going to hear that too. That's okay. I don't care. I'm expressing myself. It's in my chart. I have to, right? Yeah. So that's why I can be excessive or over the top sometimes, because the way that I assert myself is also in conjunction with my Jupiter, which is expansion, right? But also joy, because it's in my fifth house of creativity, expression, romance, bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. Bada bing, bada boom.
So that was it. Does anybody have any questions? LOL, told you are powerful. LOL, I make Mr. Gray look like a Disney character. Like a Disney character. Yeah, I just had a vision of you, Courtney, with a paddle going like this in your hand.
Yeah. Oh,
by the way, I have one.
Yeah, one thing.
Yes. Oh, have a good evening, sweetheart. We're getting ready to wrap this up anyways. They only are about 30 minutes, so it's Mars, LOL. It's not me, it's Mars. Exactly. It's not my fault. It's Mars. Jupiter. Jupiter is expanding on my Mars, right?
Right.
In my fifth house. All right.
Well, that'll be good to get into conjunctions.
Yes. Now, next week we're going to be talking about Saturn.
Okay.
And we're going to be talking about Uranus. Or no. Yes, Uranus. And then we'll do Neptune and Pluto the week after that. But after that, I was thinking, why don't we start doing like squares, oppositions, the different aspects. Yeah, conjunctions, stuff like that. We'll maybe start off with 2 or 3 and see where that goes.
I definitely don't know. I mean, I don't know about those at all. So it'll be very interesting.
I'm slowly learning it. It's so complex. I mean, I was going through my book earlier and I'm looking at stuff and I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to put this on a worksheet? Because there's so much to it. I might not. I might just say, okay, we've gone as far as we can go. Now you go off and do the rest of your stuff. And we're starting in palmistry because some of it is just so complex. So there's like good books,
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So anyways, we're going to wrap this up just under 30 minutes. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. This was really cool, actually having people in here with us while we were doing it. And have a good evening. Bye, guys.